Judas Priest has just released another masterpiece. It's a double concept album called Nostradamus. And Ian Hill, what was your immediate reaction when the idea of making a concept album was brought to the Judas Priest table?
I thought it was a great idea. It's something that's been discussed over the years, you know, and for one reason or another, we never got round to doing it. It was our manager who came to see us at the end of the last tour, to see what direction we were going to go into, and he suggested why not a concept album, you know, about the life of Nostradamus, and of course we were all immediately excited because it was something we never got round to doing until now, you know. So yeah, it was just excitement.
So you have been discussing doing a concept album before. Was that a concept album about Nostradamus, or didn't you have a theme back then?
No theme, no particular theme. You know, it was just like ideas, and for some reason we did regular albums, you know, which turned out great. So, who knows, if we'd have done the concept album back then, it might not have been so good, but this one's turned out terrific, you know. It turned out really, really well.
So it was actually your manager suggesting you writing an album about Nostradamus' life?
That's right, yeah.
Did you know Nostradamus well from before?
I think everybody knows a little bit about him, you know, about his, at least his predictions. But we wanted to get into his life more than his, he's more than a fortune teller. He was a very, very interesting man. Went through all kinds of trials and tribulations throughout his life. You know, he lost his wife and his children in the plague. Of course, he was a physician himself, you know, and he was instrumental in saving people from the very same disease, you know. He's exiled as a heretic. All kinds of things happened to the poor fellow, you know. But at the end of his life, he was a very, very respected man, you know. He died well respected.
The fact that this is a concept album, it makes the music a bit different. Is this a challenging album for your fans, do you think?
It's going to take a bit of getting used to, yes, but because it's designed to be listened to in its entirety from start to finish. All the songs flow into one with connecting musical pieces. So it will take some time for it to sink in, if you know what I mean. I mean, I'm still finding things that I'd forgotten that was down there, you know what I mean? So it will take some time, and it's that thinking is why there's only 2 songs that we're playing from the, on the present tour from the new album. Just until everybody gets more familiar with it.
There's a rumor saying you'll bring the whole concept on the road and play the whole thing.
We are planning that, yes. When exactly it's going to be, we don't know. This tour is going to take us into probably spring, maybe even summer next year, and then we can start thinking about bringing Nostradamus in its entirety. You know, it's going to be a tremendous challenge in itself. You know, with the preparation and the rehearsals that are going to have to take place for that, you know. So we are planning on bringing it out, but probably towards the end of next year.
Will that be a huge theatrical thing? I mean, with a stage production and everything?
That's what we'd love to do, yeah. You know, I mean, it's crying out to be done properly, like you say, and theatrically. So we'll see where it leads, you know.
How would that be for you to go on a tour and not having to play your hits all the time? Would that be a relief, or would that be something you'll miss?
It would be something very different. It would definitely not be a relief because we still enjoy playing them, you know. We've been playing some of them for nearly 40 years, but we still love them to death, you know. And of course, so do the fans. But it will be an entirely different thing. It won't be a general, you know, priest set at all. It'll be, you know, something very different, which what makes it appealing, you know. It'll be a very, very, very large change for everyone.
These songs are more like a mid-tempo songs. What do you think about the style on this album?
Well, underneath it all, you take the choral pieces and the orchestration away. That you know, there's 13, 14 standalone heavy metal tracks under there. You know, so it's that part of it. You know, was comparatively easy, but the challenging part, of course, was putting on the strings and the choral parts on top. We knew we had to learn as we went along. You know, we knew very little about that side of the music scene, and like I say, that was a challenging part. Very enjoyable, though. I hasten to add.
Ken and Glenn and Rob have the writing credits.
That's right, yes.
How far in the process did they come before you joined them?
Well, a lot of the groundwork was done, as it generally is, before the definitive bass lines and drum lines, if it comes to that, go down. It's changing constantly as well. You know, you go into the studio with some idea of what you're going to put down, and you end up playing something completely different. You know, and it does evolve as it goes along. So we were finding we were putting guitars and vocals down right at the very end there. You know, because of what had gone on top, created a different vibe, which, you know, dictated which we changed to the parts that were already down. You know, but I was popping in and out quite often, as we all were. You know.
Have you been inspired by other concept albums before?
Not really, no. I mean, we all went off and started doing research on Nostradamus. You know, we didn't start listening to other people's concept albums at all. You know, it's something that we've never done. So we just went out and started from scratch.
Are you reading the reviews popping up now on the internet all the time? Are you excited when you release another album now? I mean, you played on a bunch of albums through the years.
Well, yes. I mean, the reviews, especially favourable ones, are always pleasing. You know, as often as I can, I get onto the internet, you know, and check things out. And pleased to say that most of the feedback has been very, very favourable.
A successful album, in your opinion, is that an album that makes you feel good? That you made a great album, in your opinion? Is it good reviews, or is it a matter of how much you sell? Many copies.
It's if everyone's happy. I mean, reviews are reviews. Journalists will have, as yourself will have, their own opinions. But as long as we're happy with it, and as long as the fans are happy with it, that's the most important thing. You know, your fans and yourself, you have to keep happy, because it's ourselves and the fans who are the nucleus of the band. At the end of the day, we wouldn't exist without either of those factions.
As I said, there's a lot of music on this album, or the two CDs. Did you make even more music that are leftovers?
No, I think everything that was recorded went down onto this one.
What are your current favorites of the album right now? Which songs are you playing live?
Live, we're doing Prophecy and we're doing Death live at the moment. My favourite it's probably the title track, Nostradamus, and Alone. I like that one as well. Although it's early days, very early days.
When you've done an album, do you listen much to it afterwards?
I've listened to it through to it several times. Yes, of course you just poured a hell of a lot of your time into it, so you're not going to get fed up with it, you know, because it's something for which we're very proud. So, but now you're on the road, it's having the chance to do so, you know. It's an hour and 3/4 of music there, you know. It takes a lot, a lot to listen to, and of course time is quite short on the road.